There's a truth about human behavior that most people will never understand. Some people don't feel free in the outside world. They feel free when they finally escape it. Not in noise, not in crowds, not in constant conversations, but in silence. And here's the uncomfortable part. The moment they close the door, they don't feel lonely. They feel relief. So the real question is, why does being alone feel like peace? For some people, an emptiness for others. Picture this. You get a message. Bro, party tonight, you're coming, right? Everyone is excited. Plans are loud. Energy is high. And you just stare at the screen, not because you don't like them, not because you're boring, not because you don't want to live life, but because something inside you already feels tired. You know what's coming. Noise, small talk, fake smiles, energy you don't have. So you hesitate. Maybe you say no. Maybe you force yourself to go, but either way, there's a conflict inside you. And then come the labels: antisocial, lazy, boring, you're missing out. But what if none of that is true? What if you're not avoiding life, you're just tired of living it in a way that doesn't fit you? In this video, we're going to break down the deep psychology behind people who love staying home. And by the end, you might finally understand yourself in a way you never did before. Number 1, staying home is not escape. It's alignment. Most people think staying home means running away, but what if it's the opposite? What if it's returning to yourself? Your brain is constantly processing the world around you. Sounds, faces, expectations, conversations, reactions. For some people, this constant input doesn't excite them. It overwhelms them, not visibly, not dramatically, but internally. So when they choose to stay home, they are not rejecting life. They are choosing the version of life where they feel most like themselves. Think about someone who spends all day interacting with people. By the time they're alone, their body relaxes in a way it couldn't before. Breathing slows, mind settles. No performance, no expectations, just existence. And in that moment, they're not escaping the world. They're finally aligned with it, because sometimes, peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what actually fits you. Number 2, some minds are built inward, not outward. Here is something most people never think about. Not all minds are designed to chase the outside world. Some are designed to explore the inside. Psychologically, introverted individuals often have higher internal brain activity, meaning their thoughts are louder than the world around them. While others seek stimulation outside, they already have it inside. Ideas, reflections, imaginations, conversations in their own mind. For example, 2 people sit in the same quiet room. One feels bored within minutes. The other feels completely engaged. Nothing changed externally, but internally, everything is different. This is why silence feels empty to some and full to others. And forcing an inward mind to constantly live outward creates exhaustion, because they are not meant to chase stimulation. They are meant to process it deeply. And once you understand that, you stop calling it boring and start calling it what it really is: a different way of experiencing life. Number 3, social interaction is invisible work. This is where things get real. Most people don't realize that socializing is work, invisible work. Every conversation requires effort. What should I say? How do I sound? Did I say the wrong thing? Are they judging me? For some people, this processing is automatic and light. For others, it's constant and heavy. So even if they enjoy the moment, their brain is still working in the background. Imagine running multiple apps on your phone all day. Eventually, the battery drains. So that's exactly what happens mentally. For example, someone laughs, talks, interacts normally at a gathering, but the moment they get home, they collapse into silence. Not because the event was bad, but because their system is overloaded. And the truth is, the more aware a person is socially, the more energy it costs them. Because awareness is not free, it consumes energy. Here's something most people don't realize. Number 4, solitude is not empty. It's where life is processed. In a world obsessed with activity, stillness is misunderstood. But for certain people, stillness is where everything makes sense. It's where emotions settle, where thoughts organize, where experiences turn into understanding. Without that space, life becomes noise without meaning. For example, someone who constantly goes out might experience a lot, but never truly process any of it, while someone who spends time alone might experience less, but understand more. And over time, that depth creates clarity, because life is not just about what happens to you, it's about what you understand from it. And understanding requires silence. Number 5, depth feels better than frequency. Some people don't want more interactions. They want better ones. Instead of talking to many people, they prefer truly connecting with a few, because shallow conversations drain them, while deep conversations energize them. For example, a 5-minute real conversation can feel more fulfilling than hours of surface-level talk. And once someone experiences that depth, they can't go back to pretending, because their mind starts rejecting anything that feels empty. And that's why big social settings feel exhausting, not because people are bad, but because the connection is shallow. The truth is, some people don't need more people. They need more meaning. But the truth goes even deeper. Number 6. The real struggle is not solitude, it's judgment. Being alone is not painful. Being misunderstood is. Most people can handle solitude, but they struggle with how others interpret it. You've changed. You don't go out anymore. Are you okay? These words seem small, but they create doubt. Even when someone feels peaceful, they start questioning themselves. Am I wrong? Am I missing something? And this creates internal conflict, because now they are torn between what feels right and what looks right to others. And living in that gap is exhausting, because sometimes the hardest part of being yourself is being judged for it. Number 7, self-acceptance is where peace begins. At some point, something shifts, not outside, but inside. A person stops forcing themselves, stops explaining, stops justifying, stops pretending, and starts accepting. This is how I am. And suddenly, everything becomes lighter. They still stay home. They still prefer silence, but now, there's no guilt attached to it, and that changes everything, because peace doesn't come from changing yourself. It comes from understanding yourself. And now, the deepest truth. Number 8, you're not missing life. You're experiencing it differently. The world measures life in activity, how many places you go, how many people you meet. But real life is not measured like that. It's measured by presence. You can be in a crowd and feel disconnected, or you can be alone and feel completely alive. Because life is not about being everywhere, it's about being fully where you are. And some people find that fullness in silence. Human beings are not meant to live the same way. Some are wired for noise, some are wired for stillness. The problem begins when you try to force one into the other, because your nervous system always knows the truth, even when your mind is confused. So think about this honestly. How many times did you force yourself to go out just to feel empty? And how many times did you stay home and actually feel at peace? What if that peace was not wrong? What if it was your truth? And what if nothing about you needs fixing? At the end of the day, a meaningful life is not about following the crowd. It's about understanding your nature. Because some lives are loud and some are quiet, but both can be full. So if you feel peace in your own space, don't run from it. Don't question it, and don't let the world convince you that you're missing something. Because maybe in your silence, you didn't lose the world. You finally found yourself,